Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome back to another episode of What Will I Be Watching? So, normally I was initially planning on talking about the animes that I had watched during the previous seasonal lineup. But I already recorded that video, and it wound up being like 38 minutes long, just talking about the old animes that I had seen, and there was no way, absolutely no way, I could put up a like hour-long video discussing that and the new animes that I intend to watch. So I decided, at the end of that video, I basically decided to just have that be its own, the start of its own series called What I Watched. And that video will be coming up tomorrow, I believe, as of this recording. It's either tomorrow or the day after. But yeah. So for this video, I'm gonna be talking about the anime is for the summer 2025 lineup that I intend to watch. I've got 13 animes to talk. I got 13 animes to talk about, and technically one other anime that I do intend to watch, but in a specific way, and I'll get to that here in a bit. First off, Dandadan season 2, My Dress Up Darling season 2, and Shield Hero season 4. I'm going to be watching all three of those. Dandadan is peak. My Dress Up Darling is peak. Shield Hero, I absolutely love. I love the Shield Hero franchise. Season 2 wasn't that great, but Season 3 was fantastic. There were some good parts of Season 2. There were some parts of Season 2 that I actually didn't find myself enjoying. But it was certainly the weakest of the first 3 seasons. But I am very much looking forward to this new season because of the arcs that this season is supposedly going to cover. The arcs that it's going to cover has me very excited. So, but in any case, let's see. There's also Kaiju number 8, season 2. However, this one, I'm not going to be watching the sub. I'm going to be watching the dub for it. There are some animes that I just choose to skip the sub version. Mostly only for the reason that, like, I have too much on my plate. I usually have too much on my plate, and so, like, I end up picking one of them to put off for later when it has its dub. And then once its dub is finished, then I'll just binge watch the whole season in one go. And it's easier to binge watch an entire season in dub than sub, because I can just have it be at 2 times speed and just plow through it, just quickly plow through the whole thing. And that's what I'm gonna do with Kaiju number 8, season 2. I have too much on my plate as it is, so that's yeah. I'm gonna have to pick something to wait till the dub comes out. And to be honest, I don't really like the dub for Shield Hero. Dandadan is fine, but I like that show too much to want to skip it and wait for the dub. I want to know what happens, like, immediately. And same thing with My Dress Up Darling. The dub is fine, but I want to watch the show as soon as it comes out. Kaiju number 8, I enjoy it, but I'm willing to wait for the dub. So, let's see. Where's the next one? Okay, next one. There's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless. And I'll read the synopsis because we're out of the sequels and now we're going into original animes. So I'm gonna read the synopsis from here on out. Renako is leaving her awkward and lonely junior high school life behind, determined to become a normal girl with normal friends in high school. Glamorous, confident, Mai is Renako's total opposite, wealthy, outgoing, and a literal fashion model. Against the odds, the two girls form an immediate connection. Renako thinks she may have found the best friend of her dreams, until Mai's romantic confession sends her into a tailspin. Renako wants to prove to Mai that being BFFs is better than being girlfriends, but Mai is dead set on convincing Renako that they're destined to be lovers. Let the love games begin. So yes, it is a Yuri anime, and from the trailer I've seen, it looks like it's going to be very comedy based. It looks like there's going to be a lot of comedy to it. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this one. So I don't watch a whole lot of Yuri anime. Like every once in a while I may dabble in a Yuri anime here and there, but like it's not my go-to thing. But this one actually piqued my interest. So next up, we have The Water Mage. Ryo is delighted to be reincarnated into the fantastical world of Fae, where he thinks he'll get to live a quiet life learning to use his newfound water magic. Going with the flow here, however, means something very different. Ryo is immediately pitted against the wild lands he winds up in as the slew of deadly monsters that call the remote subcontinent home. I feel like there's some commas missing there. There's no commas. You'd think he'd forget about taking it easy when he's stuck fighting for his life, but lucky for Ryu, he's naturally optimistic, clever, and blessed with the hidden eternal youth trait. 20 years pass in the blink of an eye, and each encounter along the way pushes him one step closer to the pinnacle of human magic. Little does he realize that that's only the opening chapter of his tale. A fateful meeting soon thrusts Ryu into the forefront of history, forever changing the course of his life. Thus begins the adventure of the strongest water magician the world has ever seen, who also likes to do things at his own pace. So, another isekai, and based on the trailer I've seen of this and the synopsis, it gives me the vibes of I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. It gives me similar vibes to that, and I enjoyed that series. I thought the first season was great. The second season, you'll hear my thoughts on the second season when you watch the next video. But I mean, I thought it was cozy. So like, if this is more of the same, if this is very similar to that, then I'm sure I'll think it's fine. Watari-kun is about to collapse. All right. That's the title of the next one. 2 years ago, the death of Watari's parents left him as the sole caretaker of his younger sister, Suzu, and forced him to move in with their aunt. So devoted is he to Suzu that he refuses to join clubs or even hang out with anyone, earning him snide comments and the title of Siscon at his new school. But as long as Suzu is safe and happy, Naoto is Watari's first name. Naoto does not care what everyone else says. However, his sneering classmates may turn out to be the least of his worries. The sudden transfer of a girl named Satsuki brings back traumatic memories from his past. A past she had a hand in making so unpleasant. Nasty secrets unknown to Naoto begin to surface with her arrival, threatening his new life. So, it's a the main girl in this is a delinquent Gyaru. A delinquent Gyaru. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, say less. Say less. I am on board. So, I'm looking forward to that. Alright, and next, dealing with the Mikadono sisters is a breeze. As the son of the late legendary actress Subaru Ayase, Yu has had many expectations placed upon him after he transferred to Saika Academy, a highly prestigious school where students can hone their personal talents. However, in contrast to his mother, Yu is completely talentless. Being seen as completely mediocre, he would have no chance of standing side by side with the three emperors of Saika Academy, the Mikadono sisters, Miwa, Nico, and Kazuki, who are each prodigies in shogi, martial arts, and performing arts, respectively. With Subaru's friend agreeing to take her son in, Yu aims to fulfill his mother's last wish to him, which is to build a happy family after never being able to form a proper mother-son relationship due to their difference in talent. As it turns out, his mother's friend is actually the father of the Mikadono sisters. Keeping his mother's wish in mind, Yu aims to build familial bonds with the siblings. However, due to their extreme focus on their respective specializations, they show little interest in opening themselves up not only to him, but to each other as well. Nonetheless, Yu strives to continuously support the three prodigies as his kindness and care restores the bond between the sisters. So, based on that, it seems like he is basically playing therapy for the sisters. He's playing therapist for the sisters while also helping them along their along their journeys. And I just noticed that my keyboard was low battery, so I had to switch the charger. But it looks good. It looks good. I saw the trailer for it, and I thought it looked very interesting. It looked like there was going to be a lot of like emotional moments between the characters about like getting closer to family and reconnecting with family that you've been estranged with. And of course, yeah, like it does look like it's going to follow a lot of the same like harem tropes. But that's fine. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks interesting. So the next one, Betrothed to My Sister's Ex. A poor barren daughter has lived under her sister's shadow, where she always had nothing. Her hair is full of hair. Her hair is full or hairballs. Full or hairballs. She doesn't have a single dress, and all she has are tattered clothes for work. Her sister receives the attention of a high rich noble, but she dies on the way to her marriage. Marie is sent as a substitute bride for her sister because the Baron cannot repay the already sold dowry to the Earl. But that's impossible. In the first place, the proposal was a misunderstanding, a beautiful and happy story of love about a fallen baron's daughter and an eloquent earl. So, yeah, every single seasonal anime seems to have that one anime about the girl of lowborn status who ends up finding herself in a position where she's suddenly like engaged or married to a super handsome noble or prince or something, and they were garbage for a long time. They really were. They were absolute garbage for a long time, and they were all exactly the same. But in recent years, I want to say since like 2022, they've started getting better. A lot of them have actually started getting better. And I want to say the turning point was when the villainess animes started to pop up. Reincarnated as a villainess, all routes lead to doom. I would say when that popped up, that's when the shift started happening. And suddenly all of these other animes that don't have to do with a villainess and is just about a girl being thrust into this position, they started like putting more effort into it and actually telling interesting stories, telling their stories in interesting ways. So I'm curious to see if this will continue that. So next up is Scooped Up by an S-ranked adventurer. One day, Lloyd, a white mage, is banished from the hero's party. Lloyd, who has lost his job, happens to accompany an S-rank party on a quest by chance. At the time, no one knew that the hero's party would collapse and Lloyd would gain fame. Yet, this is the story of an extraordinary support magic user who thinks he is normal and becomes an adventurer, while he is unaware of how he eventually becomes peerless. And I'm going to be straight up really honest with you. I have watched countless animes about like the guy who gets banished from the hero's party or gets banished from an adventuring party, and then he goes on to form his own party. He goes on to form his own party, gets a harem of girls, and eventually completely outclasses his former party. I've seen that time and time again, and the reason why I keep watching them is there's honestly only one reason why I keep watching them. It's to see the look on the former party member's face when they get beaten down by the very person they kicked out. Because that always happens. In every single instance, the person who got kicked out ends up completely beating down the people who kicked him out. They absolutely demolish the people that kicked them out, and just that moment of seeing them get that payback is so satisfying. It's just so satisfying. It's one of my favorite tropes, is just seeing them get payback like that. That's one of my favorite tropes. So yeah, I keep watching animes like this just so I can get that fix. So, but next is Bad Girl. Bad girl, what you gonna do? Anyway, Yu Yutani, a first-year high school student with sharp eyes, large piercings, a flashy two-tone hair, is not well known. is not a well-known bad girl who everyone makes way for. She's actually a very good girl at heart, and her mind is always full of thoughts of the school's Madonna, Atori. Wanting to attract the attention of the discipline and committee chairman, Atori, Yu decides to quit being an honor student and become a bad delinquent. A school comedy depicting the struggles of a slightly foolish, self-proclaimed delinquent is about to begin. She wants her senpai to notice her, and so she pretends to become a delinquent. But based on what I saw in the trailer, she is so incredibly bad at being a delinquent that it's just comedy, straight up. Like, there's just so many comedic moments from what I've come to understand from watching the trailer. It actually looks hilarious. So, next, Night of the Living Cat. Now this, okay, just listen to the synopsis, because honestly, I would... This is not a series I would believe exists if it weren't for this. A virus spreads across the world, transforming all humankind into wild, slavering furry beasts, cats, to be precise. Those few survivors who remain human take refuge in the dark corners of the earth as they fight back against the feline horde. Kanagi, a man with no memory of his past yet deep knowledge of cats, struggles to hold on with only his wits and a will to survive, yet the virus transmits merely through cuddles. And Kunagi finds kitties so hard to resist. Is his willpower strong enough to withstand the hair-raising catastrophe? So if a cat cuddles up to you, just rubs up against you, you get transformed into a cat. This sounds so stupid. I want to watch this just by how ridiculous this sounds. Oh, we have no idea how many episodes it's supposed to be. No idea how many episodes it's supposed to be. It doesn't say anything about that. But God, it just sounds so freaking hilarious. Oh, okay. Next, The Shy Hero and the Assassin Princesses. Hero Toto possesses great skills, but his extreme shyness has left him unable to form a party, causing him to remain stuck in the town where his journey began. One day, he is suddenly invited to join a party by three beautiful women, Ciel, and Anemone, and Gori. Overjoyed at finally setting off on an adventure, Toto is filled with excitement, but little does he know, these women are dead set on killing him. A deathly harem rom-com unfolds as the socially anxious hero, who faints from mere flustered excitement around women, finds himself the target of three deadly companions, each with their own reasons for wanting him gone. So yeah, they're all his party. He joins a party of assassins that all want him dead. But he's just so incredibly powerful that like he ends up he's so incredibly powerful that he ends up completely like demolishing any hope they have of killing him without even trying, and he never even picks up on the fact that like they're trying to kill him. So let's see, where's the last... There's supposed to be one more, I believe. Where is it? Okay. Okay, shit. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. The lips of a married woman taste like a can of tastes like a can of D cup. That's the name. That's the title. And the synopsis. Where is her? Uh, I'm not finding it. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay, let's see. What? Nope, that's not it. Looking for a freaking synopsis of what the hell it's about. Trying to find an official synopsis. It's not. I'm not finding any official synopsis. Okay, so the anime itself is supposed to be 9 episodes. It's only the anime itself is only supposed to be 9 episodes, and basically, from what I was able to, from what information I was able to gather prior to this, basically the main character moves into his apartment building, and he has a neighbor who is a married woman, and she is in a really sucky marriage. She's in a really sucky marriage, and I don't know if her husband is like neglectful or if he's abusive or what, but like, she is in a marriage without love. She is in a marriage without love, and the two of them end up forming a sort of friendship through alcohol. Like he hates his new job, so he drinks. She hates her marriage, so she drinks, and it's an ecchi anime. So yes, one thing does lead to another. So yeah, it's going to be a 9 episode series. It's going to be a 9 episode series. And it looks like there are 3 volumes. It's based on a manga that has only 3 volumes. There's only 3 volumes in the manga, so my guess is that the 9 episodes are basically going to cover the entirety of the series. So this is going to be a single season show. But yeah. So I am certainly looking forward to that. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing that. And man, what am I looking forward to most aside from the obvious answers of like returning animes? Night of the Living Cat, I would say, is definitely one of them, just because of how absurd it sounds. And then probably the one about the Mikadono sisters, because that one actually sounds like it could be very interesting, very therapeutic. And then the one that has a Gyaru delinquent. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. And if I had to pick a fourth, honestly, probably the only ecchi anime of the season. because it's an adult woman. It's a mature adult woman. And a lot of times when it comes to ecchi animes, they don't always have mature adult women. Like, oftentimes, like, 99% of all anime characters are underaged. So, like, you gotta enjoy the animes that have adult characters when they appear. You gotta enjoy them when they appear. So, anyway, but yeah, like, that's all 14 animes basically that I'm gonna be watching. Well, 13 if you don't count Kaiju number 8. Because I'm not going to be watching that until the dub is completely done, and that might not be in time for when I make the what I watched for the summer 2025 edition video. But yeah, that's everything I'm going to be keeping an eye out for. So let me know what in the comment box below. Are you going to be watching any of these anime? Is there an anime that you're looking forward to that I didn't talk about? Let me know in the comment box below. I would love to hear your thoughts. In any case, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy it, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.